iniquity though, man. So therefore, it's like you're stacking up sin, sin, and sin. Eventually, you're gonna get cashed out by being judged though, because you caused so much sin that it's popping off the roof of the fucking, popping off the roof though, man. So that's the thing about it though, man. So a lot of people gotta think, man, because if you have structure within yourself, man, you know what I'm saying though. Sometimes you gotta walk away from the fight, man. You know, cause you know how people niggas be trying to test you and shit, right? And sometimes the best thing is, you know what, man? I'll be the bigger man. Walk away, man. Cause not everything results in violence, though, man. You get what I'm saying, though? So, but that's the thing about it, man. And don't get me wrong, man. Like when you come into this truth, though, like you have this knowledge and understanding. You see the simplicity of the world, man. You know, you see the simplicity of the world, man. And it like it airs you, man. You're like, well, like, man, it's like, man, like, man, how can people be this stupid, man? You know, that's a video right there too. How can people be this stupid, man? But guess what? People are that stupid, man. And that's the thing about it, especially within our people. Knowing down, it's like we have a little brother, right? And you try to get him on the right path though, but he keeps fucking up though. But because he's your little brother and you love him, and it pisses you off even more because like, come on, little nigga, I'm trying to teach you the right path though, but you're over here doing this and that. Eventually, it gets tiring though, man. And that's our people, man. They don't want to listen. They don't want to do none of that. That's why Jeremiah said pretty much, man, fuck these niggas, man. Jeremiah said, fuck these niggas, man. Let Yahweh Shema Shai judge these motherfuckers, man. And eventually they did because it was in the Babylonian time, you know. Jeremiah saw the before and the during though, man, when the Babylonians took place, man. And he was out there warning though, man. Especially Judah, man. He was warning Judah, man. But it is what it is though, man. And that's why right now it's not any more different than back then than what it is right now. Because right now we're telling our people, not because back then Jeremiah was pretty much just telling for the southern kingdom though, But now it's like we're telling the southern and we're telling the northern kingdom, man. You get what I'm saying though? So those are the type of things though. So we have to be patient though, because let me get James 1. I think it's James 1 and 18 or 8. Actually, it's James 1 and 13. It says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. See? So that's the thing about it though, man. You can't blame the Most High though. The Most High does put a stumbling block though. You get what I'm saying though? But because it says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Because 15 it says, then when lust has conceived, it bringeth forth sin. See? So this is like I was saying earlier. When you know damn well a woman has a man, and then you think about her again, man. So then the next time you see her, damn well you want her, but then at the same time it's like you already want, it's already there. So therefore, next time you see her, you're gonna ask her for a number, man, because damn well it's like you don't want to, and damn well she has a man, but because it's the lust though, how good she looks though, that next time you see her and she's all here talking to you nice and everything, you just shoot your shot, man. And that's how it is, man. So you can't tempt the Most High. How are you gonna blame the Most High when He's the creation of all things? When He created temptation, towards people, for the people. I mean, Salakia, So let me get a. This is John 6 and 63. It says, it is the spirit that quicketh, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Exactly though. The flesh profiteth nothing. You know. And this world though, in this world, it provides you things that only that are a bunch of vanity, man. You know, because it says it is a spirit that quickeneth. You know, because once you got the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, which is the Holy Ghost, once you got that, you know how to, like I said earlier, you know how to discern things though, man. You know what I'm saying though? Because like, you know, like I said, in the world they'll tell you like, you know, hey, you should go to school, get a degree, start, you know, getting a job though, providing more for your family, and yada yada though, you know, and things like that though. But it's just, you know, things like that don't really fucking matter, man. Like, you know, they had this thing about like when you, because you know I grew up a lot around niggas, you know what I mean? They Issachar, but they niggas, but you know, with just lighter complexion though, man. And to them was like the more women you had sex, the more women you hit though, the more women you hit, like in their eyes, you know, you're cool, man. In other words though, man. Or the more beers you drink though, the more cooler you were, man. You know? But all that shit, that's to the flesh, man. And all that shit don't matter to the Yahweh Shema Shai. You think Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna be like, bam, you drink 20 beers, man, in one night? Or you drink 10 Bud Lights, though, in one night? Damn, I'm clapping my hand for you, though. That shit ain't no profit for the flesh. If anything, it's damaging to the flesh, though. You know what I mean? You think the Most High is proud of how many women you hit? And in reality, let's say you hit all these women, though, and you're not dealing with them anymore, you're causing them to commit adultery, because the fact that, well, you know, once you have sex with, you know, that's real marriage, though, but then it's like you're not dealing with them anymore. You know what I'm saying, though? Therefore, she's, you know, has sex with another man. You're making her go off and, you know, in other words, commit adultery, man. You know what I'm saying, though? And, you know, that's the way it is, though, man. And in this society, though, man, because if you're brought up right, though, you know, they would have told you, man, like, hey, man, you know, I understand you're young, you're dealing with women, you know what I'm saying, though, but your focus shouldn't be so much on a woman, though, you know? I mean, if, you know, you burn, you know, go ahead and, you know, do what you got to do if you burn, man, but don't make, you know, don't try to hit every woman. Don't try to be like Lil Wayne. Has what is that song called? Where every girl. You know what I'm saying, though? Don't be trying to be in that spirit, though, because in all that reality is, you're just wasting time, man. Because all the time you over here chasing women, you could have been, that's, you know, you to the flesh, though, you should have been, you know, studying or watching brothers' videos and things like that, man. But now you here wasting time, you know, chasing women, though, man. I mean, that's to the flesh, though, man. And that doesn't profit, you know, Yahweh Shema Shai, man. You're not building up your treasure up in heaven doing that type of shit, because all that is just vanity, though, man. You know what I mean? That's all vanity, though. So that's something that our people are accustomed to do, man. Our people is, the more women you hit, oh, the more cooler you are, or the more beers you drink, though, or the more parties you attend, though, and all this other shit, though, man. You're cool, man. You're like, oh yeah, I seen him at such and such party, though, man. Oh, this guy likes to party. He's cool. And that's the type of mentality that, I don't know if it's just where I grew up, though, or people that I know and shit, but that was the type of shit that you know, the people that I know praise this shit, you know. But then, you know, like I said, you know, once I got pulled out of that, though, man, you know, it was like, man, all that time wasted, though, man. That's what I told myself. All that time wasted. And then I'm not talking about a year or two, man. I'm talking about like the years, man. Years, ever since I was like 18 or 19, man. All the way up until I you know, I got with my woman and shit, though, man. You know, and then after I got my woman, I came into the truth, though, man. So, but then I look back, though, of all that time that I just wasted it, though, and things like that, man. Man, it was too much years, man. You know, I could have been doing this, though. So, let me get, you know, let me get Galatians, though. Galatians 5:13, it says, for brethren, ye have been called into liberty, only use not liberty for occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. You see? And that's the thing about it though, man. If you know how to say, you know, the truth will set you free. Once you know the truth though, is you know who you are. You know who your enemy is. You know America's done though. You start to find out all these things though, right? And once you have all this information, right though, you know, you're supposed to work, you know, work out your salvation when it tells you in Philippians 2 and 12, man. Work out your salvation though, man. Because the thing about it though is that once you know the truth though, it's like, all right, man, you know, I gotta start building up my treasures up in heaven though. You know, you're not gonna be hitting every party anymore. You're not gonna be going to the bars. You're not gonna be doing all the things of the flesh though. You know what I'm saying though? You're gonna start focusing in this truth though, man. And because, you know, because right now we're in a grace period though, you know, we're in a grace period right now where there's no time to give to the flesh though, man. Because, you know what I'm saying though, we're in a grace period, man. Eventually, you know, the whole end game of this fucking place though is it's gonna get nuked though, man. America's gonna be a whole fucking lake of fire, what it tells you in Revelation though, man. So if you knew, it's like if you knew it's gonna happen though, it would be like, man, I'm not gonna waste my time with these chicken heads. I'm not gonna waste my time going partying though, or drinking and shit. Man, I don't got time. I'm on a grace period right now. So therefore, I'm gonna be watching the apostles, you know, Great Millstone, and the elders and down though, man. Watching brothers' videos. I'm gonna be fellowshipping, because that's what it tells you right here. It tells you right here, but by love, serve one another. You know what I'm saying? No, hey brother, you need anything? Hey brother, you good, man? You know what I'm saying though? Just being there for a brother, man, for a brother. You know? Instead of like, you know, let's say if you're gonna do a sit down with a brother though. Oh hey bro, hey Ak, I can't go, bro, because I forgot that I had a date with this girl I'm talking to. You see what I'm saying though? You know, gotta put this truth before the woman, man. You know? And that's how it is though, man. So that's the thing about it though. So let me get some water real quick. We're in California, man. It's been getting hot lately though, you know, so gotta stay hydrated though. Yeah, like I was saying though, you know, so once you know this truth, man, you should be more spiritual than carnal, man. You know, and carnal, you know, can mean, you know, being too much of the world, man. Giving the time to the world more into the truth, though. You know. Let me get. Yeah, 1 Peter 2 and 16 it says, as free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as servants of God. See? So once you got that, you find out who you are, man. You're not gonna, you know, like if you do this and that, you're not gonna keep doing it though, man, because you know that's wicked though, man. So therefore, you know that you ain't supposed to be doing these type of things though. You're gonna be serving Yahweh Shema Shai, man, by studying, making videos, going to camp though, and things like that, man. You know what I'm saying though? Because once you come into the truth, you find out though that all the shit that you were doing back in the world was all stupidness, man. Was all vanity, you know. So that liberty that you have though within, you know, time, because I understand, you know, brothers got jobs and wives and kids though, and you know what I'm saying, and activities they got to do though throughout the day, things like that. I understand though, man, that you know, you can't be full time. You know, you're not gonna quit your job though, because you know you want to be, you know, camping almost every day though, you know, because you know you gotta work though, you know, you gotta provide though. In other words though, because we're still in Babylon, you know what I mean though, because all that things that once we serve Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna be in the kingdom, man. We're gonna be good though, but for now we in prison right now, man. You know, so that's the thing about it though. So let me get Romans